Look at your boys. Say hi, boys. Hi, handsome boys. Same one as always, my earbuds. Yeah. I do have one. It's the computer has to be hooked up. I'm sitting in front of the computer, but I'm on my tablet. So, yeah, but then we moved to Spring Hill. I mean, to Silver Springs, and we don't know anybody here. I mean, it is set up kind of. It's just not all the cords are back there in the shelf. I kept them all together, so hopefully it won't be hard for somebody.
I've got my blue Yeti hooked up. How's mine sounding?
Sounds amazing. Ah, okay. Stay.
Do you need to up the yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Right. Right. Correct. Um,
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything around here.
Maybe I can do a video call. I mean, I could. Sorry. I was gonna say maybe I could do a video call with you, Christy, and I could just help you get stuff plugged in at in the right way, if that helps. If we can just get it all plugged in. What?
Let's see.
Right.
Let's see. Um,
Right.
okay. Computer. Oh, oh,
I get that.
mm,
All right. and welcome to Stay Humanist, where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I'm here with my wonderful and beautiful co-host, Christy. Santiago.
Aw, thank you, Mac. You're wonderful and beautiful. And happy hump day, everyone. And
Hey,
Mr. Bean says
Mr.
hello.
Bean.
And happy Wednesday as well. He doesn't know anything about humping, like most dogs. I think, I don't know. He's just aggressive. He doesn't care about love, just aggressiveness. Right, Mr. Bean?
It's
What's
true.
he supposed to do?
I felt his
Yeah.
wrath numerous times. I've seen him on a Wednesday, didn't once get humped.
Nope. No, it's just not his thing. How funny. I've
No.
had dogs though, where that's their thing. So I'm grateful. Things to be grateful for. It's one more thing on my list. There's lots.
Indeed.
Even though the show is we're cooked.
Yeah,
Because we are.
we
Because
are pretty good right now. Let's
yeah.
be
Yeah.
honest. All right. Well, how do we want to go down this list of shit we're cooked over,
Mm,
cooked about, cooked
yeah.
over and about?
Cooked, fried, baked,
Yeah.
refried. We're
Oh,
refried beans.
before we move on, again, I am Mac, and I'm here with Christy, but we also have someone under our desk. Down, boy. We have Nacho unless he's under my desk this week, I guess, and we also have Peter well behind the scenes because he set up our um, whole new look and our intro and our outro and all
Yeah.
of that. So I want to make sure that we continue to mention him at the top of the show.
Yeah.
The cat
Yeah,
fight,
of course.
the literal cats. Um,
It's not his wife. It is the cats.
it is the cats. Join Leah if you want to watch my wife in a cat fight. I'm not saying I'm promising it. I'm just saying if you want to see it, you should join.
Gotta watch.
That's why I joined. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, I think flotilla.
Flotilla.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
So,
I'll lead us in. I'll walk us in. I'll swim us in. So the Global Samud Flotilla. And also there's a Global Samud caravan as well. I
mhm.
just learned I didn't know about that movement until today.
Yes.
Um, has been a movement trying to break the siege uh, and just blockade of all ways of Gaza. And
Yes.
um, as far as the flotillas have gone, because there's been multiple. Um, Back in August, we had a couple of ships try to break the siege, and they were stopped. The people on them were kidnapped and imprisoned, and then all of them um, from earlier this summer, all of the people aboard were deported back to their not directly to their home countries, but they made it back to their home countries, as far as we know.
Right.
All of them were released. We do know that. After that, they organized a much larger flotilla, which was the
Mm,
Global Samud Flotilla, like the whole name and all the whole organizing of the flotillas.
right.
Those were I've heard different numbers, 40 or more, 50 or more. I actually heard 70 was the last and the highest that I believe I heard. Um, it's sorry, I just read Clockwork Rex, and yeah, um, yeah, it's and music by Brian. This country is fucked. So, yeah,
Yes.
all of the above. Yes, we're cooked. But I guess we're kind of starting at the hopeful piece of this because the flotilla, as um, much as it sucks that they were stopped this time around with more than 50 boats,
Right.
um, just to see the movement. and the support
Yeah,
from multiple countries and multiple citizens from multiple countries is awesome.
I
Um,
agree.
so hopeful. Can you say a little bit on that? I will be right back. I need to quiet some people up.
Yeah. Yes. The watching the flotilla did give me a lot of hope. There were many times when not only did I have like a swelling of the heart amount of hope, like when we saw Spain decide that they were going to have an armored ship along. Now we know what came of that, but at that moment, it just felt so powerful, and I can imagine people, whether they're in Palestine, hearing about an armada of an actual state-sanctioned ship being involved, having three of them really made my heart swell. And then to find out that once they left the Greek waters into international water, those state sanctioned armadas, those armed ships, stayed to the side. They could see them in um, on their tools inside their boat. They knew they were there, but they weren't within viewing distance. They were not there to make sure that the flotilla got to Gaza, that this aid got to Palestinians. They actually, now that we know, because this part's over, they were begging the flotilla to drop the aid off with either this Vatican organized, which they would have just given it to Israel, or another one. I honestly can't remember the name now. To give it to them and then carry your ass on home. Yeah, that's just, it's so disturbing to have that hope of, wow, a state sanctioned, military ship is going to ride with them, and it did, and then it didn't. It's just, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Reading the comments over here too.
yeah, same. Good
Yeah.
ones.
Music by Brian, 2024. I wanted to read that one. However, I remember back when Biden was running, people were saying that they weren't going to vote because he wasn't leftist enough. I assume this just that contributed to how fucked we are now.
Yeah, not Biden fans here.
Yeah, we're definitely not Biden fans. I mean, I agree with the pressure of saying you're not
Yeah,
going to vote, and I mean even not voting to a certain extent. I wasn't going to
yeah.
vote for Biden. Uh,
More people didn't vote than voted.
yeah, it's a problem, and it's not just a problem because of the voters. Like, we try not to blame the voters here, because the voters are either convinced or they're not convinced, or they're super right. Like, um,
Or they're just too busy trying to survive in today's America. They don't have time to
right.
inform themselves on that.
And when you are informed moderately, if depending on the information you get, you just feel fucked. Why do you want to vote to get fucked more? Right? And
Right.
not in a good way.
No,
Right? It's just you pay attention a bit
that's
to
the
like
consensus.
where what was happening in Gaza at the time of Biden being in office. Like, this is dog shit. How much worse can it get? Now, I will say, those like Rania from the Real News Network, though I love her and most of her takes, she went too far. Like, she was one of those where I'm like, no, I don't think Trump's going to be better. We have to be honest. Trump's going to be worse, but
Right.
we do need to be honest. Like, we try to be very clear on this channel. Is like, look, the Democrats suck, the Republicans suck, but hold on, they don't just. They're not equal suck, right? The
Right.
Republicans suck. Do I make them lower or higher? Like, higher on the
Exponentially. Yeah,
they're
exponentially
not good at
worse.
sucking, so they're really sorry. Okay, so point is,
Hmm.
there's a false equivalence, and we try not to do that here. What Biden was doing with Gaza, not good. It's just not good. It was bad, right? But what Trump's doing with Gaza is fucking horrible, right? So, I try to make that distinction because I think it's so important, because your feelings are valid there, Brian.
Yes.
I definitely get that. I just want to make sure that we are always putting pressure on the side that we have to caucus with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like Bernie Sanders does. I voted for
Right.
Bernie Sanders, but when it came down for it, I voted for Kamala. I didn't want the fascist dictatorship we're in now. Yeah, I actually also
Right.
voted for Kamala, and I didn't want to, but she had more of a clean slate than Biden. If it was Biden, I
Right.
actually probably wouldn't have voted for him,
Same. Yeah.
because he was already a genocidal war criminal at that point in time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a lot of hope for Kamala doing something different, but she had a cleaner slate, so I was going to give her the benefit of the
Right.
doubt, and I wasn't going to vote for Trump
Right.
at all.
Well,
Like,
I mean, I'm convinced, and hopefully one day I won't be, that when it comes to U.S. leadership, whether it be left or right, there's not really much of a left here. Whether it be,
right.
you know, center left or far right, it foreign policy tends to be about the same. There might be a 10 to 12% fluctuation. More hard right obviously is going to be Republican, and 12% less of that. And a lot more voicing how they don't agree with things, even though they're doing them. That will happen on the left. But domestically, inside our nation, Democrats do more for the people. Not enough, obviously,
Yeah.
but we would just be in a different place right now, and everybody knew that. Everyone knew that, and the apathy of what a cycle of politics that we've had over the last decade, not just recently, is a lot. And then the being able to just say whatever you want on channels like Fox News. They got sued and had to pay nearly $1 billion in a fine for lying to people. But people, yeah, 700 and something million. Yeah, people still watch them, right? They still watch them. So the apathy that comes from that is not a bug in the feature. It is the feature. It is what they want. They want you to say, let's put out 20 stories and a day, and yeah, every day, and then they'll spend all day trying to debunk the first story, the second story, the third story, and the next day there's 20 more. They can't keep up, and the apathy that comes from that is understandable for people who are not political, who do not spend their days informing themselves on these things because they have other things to do. It is a recipe for disaster, and we're in that disaster soup right now.
Yeah. So, trying to reel us back into the main focus of our topics, because we're getting a little too far into the weeds there. So it's always a good conversation to have, and I love talking about that, but we have so many things to get to. So the flotilla, yes, it was stopped this time around. As far as I know, every single ship was stopped. Correct?
All of them were, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I had heard
Yeah.
at one point that there was one still out there, but
there was, and
that they got that too.
He made it closer to Gaza than anyone has in I think it's over 20 years.
Yeah.
He made it to the Gaza waters, the legally, the barrier.
Gaza.
And yeah.
That's wild. Now I want to make sure that I say at this point in time, this is extremely illegal. Like, if the UN had a standing army, I would say as a humanist, send guns a-blazing. Like, you don't stop humanitarian aid. That's like, that has to be the red line where, like, you go guns a-blazing. As far as I'm concerned. And I want to give Christy the room to say yay or no. Still no with that, but go for it.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I had this whole thing ready for our show on the previous show, and it is the Colombia's president's visit to the UN, and it was not just about the flotilla, but heavily about the flotilla. I love that he left the UN building and went out to where all the protesters were and was protesting with the people anti-genocide. He says that the United Nations needs to stand for something, and there's no reason that these member states of United Nations cannot volunteer a percentage of their military. The president of Colombia also said that he has no problem putting together 20 to 40 thousand soldiers to go into Gaza to protect them from Israel. And there's no reason that, and on his speech, I ask everyone to go read it or listen to it. You can listen to it. There's subtitles. Everything's available now on YouTube. It's easily available. I'll also share an amazing article in the chat that is on this subject, and I do think everyone should read it. I agree with him. I sent you earlier from the United Nations all of these leaders coming out, probably like an hour ago. So I don't know if you have had time to watch it, but all of them coming out saying nearly the same thing. It's over. It's over. There's no more of this. And in this video that I sent you, which I will post in the chat here in a second, there was one person who was, saying the wrong things. And I love that they rebutted. They rebutted and said, absolutely not. That's not going to work here anymore. It's against the law. So we're at a crossroads when it comes to that. It's just sad that it took killing nearly 700,000 human beings.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
yeah.
I mean, it makes me a little bit proud that we were on it so early, literally 2 years ago. It's October 8th, guys. Like I said, it makes me proud to know that, we were on it from the get-go, from like before this started. But I don't want to be. I'd rather be proven wrong. I'd rather other people fucking get it. This is something that drives me nuts. And I've been wanting to make a short on my channel about it for a little while now. But I'm getting sick of being ahead of that moral arc. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's to where when I lost my Christian faith at 28 and I started learning more about the universe at first, philosophy, and then politics, I learned more and more how to be more tolerant, how to be more peaceful and loving, and tried to apply problem solving to philosophy and politics. And I feel like it's not that crazy hard to just extend tolerance first to people that aren't like you or have opinions from you or love differently than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get that tolerance, you tend to get exposure to those people because you're not just intolerant and trying to
Right.
stay away from them all the time. You start to learn
Yeah.
their perspective, and you open yourself up to feel empathy for other people.
Right.
You know, that thing that's
Beautiful.
destroying America
Oh,
is empathy, according to the late Charlie Kirk.
and Elon and Elon.
That's yeah. Um, but it's wild to me. It's just absolutely insane to me that the more I walk down this road, the more I feel like I see it fairly clearly, at least from the moral arguments, where the moral path is. I mean that's why I consider myself a humanist now, because even if I don't have the greatest moral values, I'm striving for them. I am
Right.
trying to have the best
It's important.
morals that I can have, because I want to pass good morals on to my kids and my community. I think that's a good thing to
Right.
do. But that means I need to figure out how the best way to deal with this shit is. And looking at a
Yeah.
genocide happening, looking at what happened on October 7th in Israel to the Israeli people and some of the IDF, and saying, wow, that's terrible. Why,
Yes.
why, why? Why did that happen? Because,
Right. The why. It's
yeah,
so important.
yeah. When I heard about Charlie Kirk, I went, huh, wow, kind of saw that coming. Okay, that's wow, that's bad. I don't need to ask why. Maybe I do need to ask why. We don't know who it was. Most on the left don't do that. So there's still so many unanswered questions there. But me questioning myself and trying to just ask why again just gives you more perspective. And you need
Right.
that perspective. Why do people, and we'll get back to this, why do people support ICE right now
Right.
out of all the things we see? And again, we'll get back to that. Why do people support Israel? Because they don't know what Israel does to Gaza and the West Bank. They don't even fucking know what the West Bank is.
Or they like it. Those are
Or
the
they
two
like
options.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't fucking get it, or they like it. But they all, most of the time, they like it, and they don't actually know what's going on.
That's true.
There is a middle ground. There is a gray area. I am the gray skeptic, but but the why, the why is so important. Empathy is so important. Understanding is the goal, and that is important. Um, it's really easy to condemn or condone actions. It's a little bit harder to question why you condone or why you condemn certain
Mm,
actions, and figure out the historical context that you need to traverse a topic at a social
yeah.
level, but also just for yourself to earn the perspective. What are you exposed to? What is the lens of which you are seeing anything on the internet? And this question is going to become more and more important. We've already had so many of these conversations sussed out back in like the great debate community days.
Right.
Um, but we still lack so much perspective on either side. Like, yeah, I hate ICE. I think that's an easy thing to say. Why do I hate ICE? Because of all the things that I see them do, that they are doing. Right? They raided an apartment building the other day. To me, that is domestic terrorism. Just it is what it is. I mean, it's you're terrorizing civilians for a political purpose. That's what we see. That's why no one likes Hamas, right? Um, it's a problem. Excuse me. So we need to condemn it. Um, and but what does it mean to condemn it? To just say, oh, I don't like it, it's bad, right? Well, we're supposed to be civilized society. This is and we will back it back up to the ICE thing here in just 1 minute, and I will cut myself off. An issue that I'm having, and I've mentioned it kind of before on this channel, is we're supposed to live in a civilized society or civilized societies where we have judges and the law and
Right.
police to help us take care of violent problems, especially. And when our system fails us to have the government work for the people, especially when it says it's supposed to be
Right.
for the people, you can only expect one thing, and that's the Malcolm X side of things. When government works, the worst you get is Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And when government doesn't work, you get the Black Panthers.
My heroes.
I love the Black Panthers.
But
Because
they wouldn't have been needed if it weren't for that fascism there. Right.
But here's the thing: we don't want the violence that follows. We don't want that. But I want to be again honest with everyone here. That's what we're going for, and I mean the right kind of wants it, right? They've been trained.
Yes.
They have like wet dreams where they're shooting out ammo out their dicks, right? Um, it's not good for anyone because they don't actually like when people they care about get shot. I saw an ICE agent fall back and bump his head on one of
I saw that.
those videos. And the other ICE agent, oh shit, he pulled his buddy aside and he was like watching him, and they like punched the other guy in the face because he was struggling because he didn't want to get taken away from his family and shit. There's only empathy enough for most people for their own tribe. And
That's not empathy.
it's empathy in a box.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that box can be within another
Right.
box or next to another box, and it's
Like horses that wear those blinders. Yeah.
Now, but I get it. I can empathize. This is human.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah, it's very human. It's very American even. I get it because I look at ICE at that point in time, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad he fucking bumped his head.
Yeah.
I don't have empathy for that guy. One,
Right.
because he's not part of my tribe, but also I think that tribe is bad. But this is tribal thinking.
Yes.
But the thing that really sets us apart, which needs to set us apart, and if it's not setting you apart, maybe you need to change your algorithm a little bit. You need to make sure what you're seeing is factual, and you need to ask why. Because if you're not doing those things, you're not making informed decisions. You don't have informed opinions, and you need that. And one of the reasons why I think I'm on a good good role here is that when I was more right wing, more Republican light, raised Republican, anything that I would have learned about Venezuela would have
Right.
been just from Fox News, which is one-sided. It's all accusatory, but no proof. And then you go to watch what the Venezuelan side is saying, and you find, oh, I actually can't find that. That's really hard to. Where do I get this information? And then you see it, and it's a completely different picture. And who's lying? Who's lying?
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. Here's how I try to figure shit out. Is I actually try to listen to both sides. And usually the side who's not actually saying what the other side is saying is the one that's lying. It's pretty simple, right? Like you can see who's responding. Like if you look at Venezuela, like Maduro will talk about what you hear on Fox News. You won't hear what Maduro's saying on Fox News.
Right.
It's
Ever.
really fucking weird. It's the same with Israel. We'll hear all this shit about all these other countries that are against Israel, but you never actually hear what Israel says. Unless they come directly here, but then if you listen to what they say in Hebrew, it's just like, oh, we hit translate, and it's just like, wow,
Shocking.
that's not said. Why is that not even said that's why? Is it because it's a lie? Well, no matter where I hit translate, it's still pretty disgusting. And then if you just
Every time.
yeah. So I think I found where the lie is. Now, when you find things you don't like that, and that you have to either condone or condemn, you'll find yourself on a team. It's just fucking
Yeah,
how things
that's
work. It's not even only human. It's just it just is. I don't know. I think it's life nature. I don't know.
right.
But it sucks. And I think the key is to try to get everyone as informed on these topics as possible. The best thing you can do for Gaza right now is fucking talk about it. That's it. Just put it on repeat. Share things on the flotilla. Otherwise, we are just cooked and no one fucking gets why. Right? Like being cooked and knowing why you're the frog in boiling water right now gives you a little bit of solace. At least it does me. But if you don't even talk about it, right? Like I wear these everywhere I go. And it surprises me who asks me, what do those say? Those are cool. Oh, that's really nice. Like, hey, you want one? And I have 20 more in my bag. I just hand them out. And then they're thinking about it more because now they have a wristband. Or they know that I'm a safe person to talk to about that. Less than 10 people have asked me for one of my wristbands. But it's more than 0 now. Right? It's getting closer to 10. And it will go up and up. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something. And it's kind of nice for me. But also, it is exactly what the Gazans are asking us to do.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
exactly what the Iranian women asked us to do during their march,
Yes.
like 4 years ago. Just fucking talk about it. We're human beings. We want to be noticed. We want to handle it ourselves if we can. But if no one fucking knows what's going on, right, we don't need regime change.
Right.
Just acknowledge our fucking existence and our human rights so we have some kind of pressure on the regimes that control us. So they have to clean up their act because no one wants to be seen as the bad guy. Does Trump want to be seen as the bad guy? No, he wants to be seen as the strong man.
Yeah, there you go.
So good. Maybe not nice, but he's good. He's the fucking best. He's the greatest.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
he doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. He wants the fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh,
He wants it.
yes.
Right? And it's his own deluded ego that really wants it.
Yes. Yes.
But that's all that. I didn't cut myself off at a minute. Sorry about that. When government doesn't work, though, guys, like it does now, did not work. It didn't work during January 6th very well.
Mm.
We had a Democratic president still, and we didn't get fuck all.
Mm.
We still got fucked a little bit during
Yeah.
that administration. I know I've said it before, and I want to say it again. When January 6th happened, and I heard there's people rioting at the Capitol and breaking in to Congress, I laughed so loud. And I was doing the show. I cracked up. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, of course they are. I don't even know. I literally said, I don't even know who it is. But if it's surprising me why it's taking this long for a group of people to be so pissed at Congress. Go fucking rate it.
Right.
Like it was ironic to the point to where I cackled so hard. And I'm not happy about what happened on January 6th.
Right. Of course not.
Sometimes you're just so
laugh or cry.
You're so fucking like it's so ironic that you're just like
It's so absurd. Yeah, it's absurd.
It was absurd to me that it hadn't yet. I'm just like it took until now for someone to get so mad that it was over the stupidest shit that I want to like, laugh again.
I didn't win. I didn't win. My guy didn't win. I'm gonna take my ball and I'm not gonna go home. I'm gonna smash it into their windows.
Yeah. And then they want to hang a bunch of Republicans are shouting, "Hang Mike Pence!" Like, are you serious? Like, this shit is hilarious. Like, if this shit was on Idiocracy, I believe it. Like, it's like, oh, okay, that's from a movie.
I rewatched that recently, and it holds up.
It does. Oh man!
Oh my god!
That eye candy.
Yes. Okay. While we're talking about ICE, I did want to add Amnesty International USA condemns the September 30th pre-dawn ICE raid on an apartment building in a historically Black neighborhood in Chicago. According to new reports, federal agents raided the apartment building, broke into homes with chainsaws without warrants in the middle of the night using Black Hawk helicopters, rappelling, forcibly removing all the residents, including children, many undressed, from their homes, zip-tied their hands, and separated the children from the parents, and interrogated them without access to legal counsel. It is shocking that federal agents unlawfully broke into homes, tore residents, including children from their beds, zip-tied their hands, and interrogated people on the streets from 10 to 3 a.m. This is Paul O'Brien, Executive Director of Amnesty International USA. Quote, this terrifying raid demonstrates the new normal for communities across the United States, increasing militarization under the guise of immigration enforcement in complete disregard for human rights. The raid follows a disturbing pattern by the Trump administration of using federal agents to carry out raids, detain people, and make arrests without warrants in Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and now Chicago. President Trump recently told top military commanders to consider using U.S. cities as, quote, training grounds for our military, unquote. The Homeland Security Secretary Noam has declared the government was, quote, sending the Department of War to both Chicago and Portland against the wishes of both mayors and state governors.
This is tyranny.
Deploying
It's
It
just
is. It,
like
yeah, it is.
we have clauses in the Constitution for this, and it doesn't end well for Trump. Like,
No, it doesn't.
I'm just saying what our foundation says is this guy things should happen to him that we don't fully condone on this channel.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, Amnesty International, I will post this in the chat so people can read the whole thing. There is more to this. But it does go on, and I agree. The government has an obligation to uphold the rule of law and ensure that nobody is above the law. These raids are an attack on human rights and a threat to everybody in the United States. Federal officials who committed human rights violations during these raids, including those with command responsibility, must be held accountable. They all need to be held accountable.
Look,
I will share that.
It's not just human rights that are being stomped on here. More importantly,
Right.
I think everyone will agree in the whole world that American rights are being stomped on. And that's way more important than human rights. We all know that. You were supposed to laugh at that, Christy. Thanks.
On command. Yeah, I did share it.
Thank you.
So, there's quite a bit there. I think it's very important.
That raid. That raid is disgusting.
They told people it doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen or not. Told when these kids it's the middle of the night, they have school in the morning. We're told, oh, fuck them kids. Literally, fuck them kids. And separating these U.S. citizens, parents from children, and putting them in back of U-Haul or Hertz trucks to separate them for hours and hours. And then we're told it doesn't matter if you're illegal or not. If you have any warrants whatsoever, you won't be going home tonight either. It's just cruel. And they use if the pictures and the videos from inside this building are horrible. They knock down walls, doors, chainsaws. Like they cut through a fence on the outside where parents could be in this laundry room in the basement and their kids could be right there outside. There's a fence. They can't go anywhere. That's wide open. Like they just don't care. And that's the least of their problems is that fence.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about money. This is not an area of money. These are people who really can't do anything about it. And it's maddening. It makes me so full of rage, honestly. It makes my hands shake. Like, that's the whole point, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
It's a huge part of the point. It's one of the points.
It's one of the points. We have
wreak havoc.
econ crash.
There's that too.
Yeah, that's your next topic.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
I have them written down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Yeah, we have an economic crash coming. The AI
yes.
bubble is bigger than the burst of 2008, the .com burst.
Yes. Significantly bigger. They today the numbers were 40% of the market right now. 40% of our market is held up by a ballooned AI. And many states in our union are, as of right now, currently in a recession. The only thing that's making it not look like that is this AI bubble. 40% of our economy is held up by a bubble.
I would love to have Richard Wolff on right now because I want to ask him questions. I would first like to formally apologize to my parents because and I know I complained about this on the show a while back. I want to say I'm wrong, but hold on, there's a caveat for when I'm wrong. But they wanted to invest in gold.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, you're probably right.
Yes.
But what are you gonna do with it? Like,
Well, our dollar
huh?
diminished. Our dollar, the dollar bill diminished by an average of 10% in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. If you were told by your boss, we're going to give you a 10% raise, you would say, I'm going to be there early tomorrow. You
Mhm.
know, like,
Yeah.
right. Or I'm going to take 10% out of your.
For
And
those
then what?
for those of you who do invest in gold and precious metals, just or like precious stones or whatever you do, any of those values. Um, look, I think that stuff's cool. I've always loved like rocks and minerals kind of stuff. I'm one of those nerds. Um, I think it's just cool to have, like as a collectible, even a collectible that
Right.
has value. I think it's neat. Um, but if the dollar crashes, I don't know how you're going
Yeah.
to end it, right? So what you usually do with your investment, like gold, something that backs money, like government, federal money, right? Is that you go and buy money with it. So if the dollar absolutely crashes, this plan of yours, your investment, I think, and this is why I want to talk to like an actual econ person to tell me where I'm wrong about this. Doesn't this plan only work if you leave the country? If you're like, toodaloo, I'm going to go to Spain now and give them my gold so I can invest in a good currency that I can actually spend at the marketplace.
Mm,
Because if you have, we'll say 100 pieces of like an ounce of gold each or something like that, and I don't know what y'all have, but each piece that you have is only worth that amount. So you got to be real careful with your transactions before you're out of all that. Like, it's not a good exchange rate, is what I'm saying. We don't have enough gold and silver and stuff. We don't have a good system for the pieces that you've collected to really go and sell. So unless you have a lot and you have a good way to exchange it for money that you can better do commerce with, you're still
right.
a little bit fucked if
Yeah.
you catch my drift. So I just want to give you all that food for thought. And if you haven't thought about this and you think maybe your parents haven't thought about this, maybe bring this up to them. It could be helpful, especially where we're going. Um, that was a big thing that I wanted to mention. Again, partly that I was wrong. I mean, gold is probably one of the best things that you could invest in. But I mean, if
Right.
the dollar super crashes,
Right. But hold on, caveat. Invest in doesn't necessarily at all whatsoever mean you physically go buy pieces of gold. No, we're talking investing in,
in it,
like, yeah, using your
know
part.
multiple people who actually go and put it in a safe.
Well, I'm talking about in your portfolio, using your investments to invest in gold.
Yeah.
It is cool to have gold, and if the whole world fell apart and you needed to barter, I guess that would be a good thing. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon, as far as everything falling apart and you needing gold to go get food, like physically hand gold to someone for food. But investing in it is a more sound investment. Gold is the highest it's ever been in the history of ever right now. It is insane.
It's what now?
Insane. Is the highest it's ever been. Like, it's
Yeah.
worth more per ounce than it's ever been
Yeah.
in the history of ever right now.
Which only means everyone's betting against that thing that you use to pay all your bills.
Yes. Yes.
It's a problem. We like, especially if you live in America and you're not wealthy as fuck. Um, because
Right.
because the dollar doesn't necessarily crash like people worry it will. I don't know exactly how it happens. I can't explain it to you in depth, but I can say it's not like dollar delete, right? It's not
Right.
just nothing right off the bat. It's just like, oh fuck, things are going to get more expensive. This isn't. It's not going to feel like it's
They
worth
are.
as much as it used to be. Um, but
Um,
I mean, if you have no
chap.
means to get out of that
Oh, no, no.
economy,
Hold
if
on.
you're trapped in that market,
Yeah.
I don't know what your gold's going to help you with. You got to find a better way to.
All right. There it goes.
Whoa.
Chapter 7 bankruptcies are up 15% from last year. Credit card delinquencies spike to great financial crisis levels. Consumer confidence and steady decline. More unemployed than job openings since 2021. I could go on. That's how bad it is right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. 70% of Gen Z are so anxious about money that they can't sleep. There's no universal health care. AI is going to be taking over the next decade over 100 million jobs. A job that will not exist anymore in a decade is an accountant. People who went to school and their entire career is accounting will not exist anymore. Housing is unaffordable everywhere. Everywhere. College is unaffordable everywhere. Student loan, credit card, rent, and auto loan delinquencies are up, and sub living wage. I mean, our national living wage is $7.25 still. So grocery prices are up. In states like Mississippi and Alabama, people literally will work for $7.25 an hour or $7.49 an hour. And I'm sorry, where could you live anywhere but in your mom's basement? Where?
I don't think you could afford your mom's basement at that price.
Nope. No. So, yeah,
You're gonna have to give it to the hardworking Mexican down the street.
it's heartbreaking. And it even amid all the economic instability, the stock market has only continued to grow. Let's see, where's the good one I wanted to share with you? Let's see. The wealth of the top 1% reaches a record of 52 trillion. Trillion. It's what's happening is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So yeah. Econ crash for sure. We do have Epstein for next, which is hot and spicy.
What's hot and spicy next?
Epstein.
Oh,
Not hot and
yeah.
spicy in a good way.
Oh,
It's just hot and spicy.
all right. I actually only have like an update on that, and then to tie things up in a pretty bow.
Yes.
So the only update I really have for you is that Trump seemingly is thinking about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
He was asked about it. He's like, "Oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. I'd have to look at a case." He's like some stupid shit like that, where that's not his dementia. That's him being a dumbass and thinking everyone else around him has dementia. Forgetting how people remember shit, which he does often. He has a long history of thinking, "Oh, they'll never remember that I did that to them or said that about the World Trade Center. It might be in the tallest building now, or
Oh yeah.
me touching her there,
Oh,
or
I forgot he said that.
me touching her over there, or I wonder how my best friend's doing. Oh wait, no, I don't want anyone to remember that we were best friends."
Uh,
Yeah, it's a really long history.
hmm.
So that's like I said, I think that's really just him thinking, "Oh yeah, it's been long enough and I've made enough noise. People probably forgot a lot about that Epstein stuff. Ghislaine Maxwell? Who is he? I forget what. Did she jaywalk? Like, I don't know. I got to look into that. The name sounds familiar. I remember her being a real nice lady. I'm sure no one else in the States remember her. It's psychopathic, crazy shit. But he's thinking about it. He just wants to not reap any repercussions that will not make him look good.
Right.
It's going to be harder for him to get the Nobel Peace Prize the more pedophiles he pardons. I think he would understand that. So everything going on right now, the ICE raids, like we fucking hardly touched on them. Like, I hope you guys are keeping up on Majority Report,
Yeah.
Secular
Yes.
Talk, and Humanist,
Yes.
like all these, and like watch the videos.
Yes. Did you see today in Chicago, from the top of the building, ICE officers were pointing their long-range guns, 3 and then 5 and then 3 and then 2. They kept moving. They were on the top. They were pointing down at the 30, maybe 35 protesters, including a church group who all had their hands up and were praying. And they're pa 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 pa, just shooting. A priest got shot in the head.
Yeah, it's and like again, like I feel like we need the Black Panthers like for this shit because they would think twice. I heard something the other day. Who was it? Maybe you'll remember this clip, Christy. Is this what we want? Like, do we just want mobs of people telling the police what to do? Who said that? Who said something like that just the other day?
Huh. It does sound familiar.
Can't remember if it was on Piers Morgan or.
Oh, I haven't watched any Pierce in the last 2. I just want to strangle him. I can't do it. I'm like, humanist, what? I can't stand him. No, it would be really hard to talk to somebody. Yeah. He makes everybody condemn. Do you condemn this? Do you condemn Charlie's killer? Do you condemn Hamas? Nobody asks anything about anyone else, and you have to show that you condemn it righteously and rightfully before he can listen to you talk about anything. And he's a logical fallacy. He's listening to when he has people on. I played a game with myself to count out how many logical fallacies, and it was every sentence, everyone, and not just on the right, everyone. And I'm just like, it isn't healthy. It's just yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry. I'm looking through my history real quick because I feel like if I see the person doing the interview, I might.
Well, you look, Andrew in chat. I agree.
What's she saying?
100%. About TYT. I agree. Once everything came out about him being, against the union and his own, just now, I tuned in 3 or 4 days ago, and I liked something that they were talking about. I was like, all right, let's just see. And it was him doing ads. Cenk would just stop the show, and now he's doing, because they lost so much, so now he has to make up that money, and it's just not a good look. So of course I didn't stay on, but I love John.
Federola. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many good people who've come out of
the indisputable with Dr. Richie in the day. It is a TYT show. I love him. He really brings a lot of stories that TYT wouldn't show just because they have this much time to get everything in, and he is centered on the people in areas of places where I've lived, black, brown, and working class people that work 2 jobs and still need help. Those people, our people, my people. So I really enjoy Dr. Rochi's Indisputable Show. I hate that it's attached to TYT, but I also think that his show is worth the watch.
Yeah, I tune into him every now and then. Because I mean, I tune into Jimmy Dore every now and then, not because I value
Yeah,
stuff, but
right.
I need to keep up.
You want to see?
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because you want to see.
I do.
Same. I get emails from Trump, not because I want to,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I need to see.
Yeah, I still get stuff from
Oh,
the RNC and the DNC.
yes.
The
Yes.
Kim Iverson. I love listening to her. She's so fringe, but like I still
Yeah, she is.
yeah, I still feel like she's really on. Like I think she tries really hard. It's just I actually enjoy listening to her, even when I hate what she's saying, because I still think she's genuine. I don't think she's like
Yeah,
sold out.
right.
I just think she's like kind of ditzy sometimes. But so
Yeah. She's just too, like, there's a fence, and
she's
here's facts, and here's propaganda, and she'll still sit on the fence. And that, I just, jump over, girl, jump over.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So what I was trying to say about what I was trying to find is, do we want mobs of people deciding what the police can do? That's the question that I heard, and I've been already thinking about it.
Mm,
And I'm just like, yes,
isn't that democracy?
huh?
Isn't that democracy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just democracy. To me, it's the answer, and yes, it is democracy. But it's the answer to the question, and I want you guys to think of it this way: is who watches the Watchmen? Fucking us. Like it is democracy. It's who they're protecting, right? I said this a month or two ago. We should have a fucking law in this country that says, hey, yeah, you know, if the police are out there doing their jobs and whatever, but like 10 or more people come and say, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing? No, 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 no. Y'all gonna stop right now, or we're making a citizen's arrest. Like that should
I mean,
overrule you. Like, I'm sorry, I know you have authority, but that's when you're doing your job right. But when 10 or more, we can still fucking say 25, or like make a fucking number. Like when you get that many citizens coming out and you don't even have a fucking
right,
warrant for what you're doing, you have to
right,
stand down, or you are one in in the uh in the potential to lose your badge, and two, when you got that many people and you aren't fucking listening and you live in a Second Amendment country, you need to start expecting that these assholes might shoot you. Like
right.
that, you have to expect it. I'm not condoning it. I'm trying to remind everyone where we fucking live and what
Mhm.
people fucking do when they're unhappy. And remember, if this was Biden's America right now, and we were, oh my God, if we were just arresting all of the pedophile priests, like, what would the right be doing right now? They're targeting
Mm,
all the white people. It's like, no, just all these Catholics won't stop diddling kids. We're just targeting them. Like, if it was to that extent, we'd have whatever version of ICE that the left would use
mm.
being shot.
ICE is unconstitutional.
Huh?
By definition, ICE is
No, I
unconstitutional.
agree with that.
There's
I'm just
no
saying
reason for us to have it.
in this instance. But yeah, no, ICE is unconstitutional, and they're criminal. They're a criminal
Yes.
organization. They're a terrorist organization. Literally.
They have to cover their faces. Not only has ICE been cry bullies, I think the term cry bully could not explain them better. They cry and then bully. They're cry bullies. For instance, yesterday morning, ICE called 911 and was hysterical, saying that someone tried to scale their fence and tried to break in. However, CBS cameraman and CBS's security had been there for 2 hours videotaping the one person and then the guy in the chicken outfit. That's all that had been there yet. It was morning. And so when the cops, 5 cop cars show up, because Homeland Security also chimed in and said, you have to get there. This is happening. So they get there and they say, they go up to ICE to find out what was going on. And then there's a CBS cameraman. Let's go ask him, what did he see? And he said, sir, I've been here all morning. As far as I've seen, nobody's come up here. Here's what I've recorded. And so then the cops say, this isn't the first time. This is the 5th time in 3 days that ICE has called 911 on something that then is demonstrated to be untrue. They're cry bullies. The whole reason why needed in Portland.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right? People videotape themselves driving through Portland. There's nothing going on. There's 5 people, 12 people, 20 people outside ICE, but we are allowed by law to protest our federal government, ICE's federal government. Therefore, it's completely legal. And by Trump hearing that there's nothing going on there and calling people liars, saying there's fires all over the city, there's looting, there's riots, I have to send people in. He's hoping that by sending people in, something will happen, a jump off, that he can then, send in more. See, I was right the whole time. They're violent. And it is the game that is being played right now. I really hope everybody realizes there are going to be provocateurs. There are going to be people who go in to make the protesters look bad. They might break something. They might start a fire, which is funny. I started fires today and the protesters went and put them out. So hopefully we just keep doing that. We just keep going, sorry, nope, you can push me to the ground. I will not push you back. Nonviolence. And we have to be held to the standard up here, always, because if we do anything, protect ourselves or block something and it happens to bump them, we will get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's standard is so high. That's why you won't go. Well, you're trained. And you could get in trouble. Your person is a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right.
And I would want to. I would want to hit them. Yeah. I mean, just,
why I oughta.
Yeah.
We can do it the easy way or the hard way.
Before they shoot me. I don't want to do that. It's not how I want to go.
Right. It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. Yes. So, I mean, if you can't be peaceful, don't go there.
Right.
That's what I mean. Don't not be peaceful. Don't go. Find another way to help. Right. I come on here and I try to talk about it and talk about solutions and also talk about consequences, about actions, because that needs to be fully realized so we can come to better solutions. Also, this is our anti-war, peaceful president. That's
right.
Getting all this. I mean, also Stephen Miller, but also little Marco with talking about Venezuela, because Venezuela, we were blowing up all their fucking fishing boats until they get mad at us, strike back.
4 now.
Civilians.
4.
And that's illegal because smuggling drugs doesn't get you the death penalty, especially before being arrested. And also fishing isn't drug smuggling. Who fucking knew?
No, it's not.
Also, if you guys have forgotten by now, this isn't our topic.
Right. It's all connected.
That was my point. That was this topic.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that don't pay attention. Don't. Who's
Yeah.
Epstein? Who's fucking
Yeah.
Epstein? I haven't heard
It
anything
is that
about it.
crazy.
Have you heard anything about it?
Of course.
Besides,
Well,
like
I mean,
the Ukraine thing the last couple of days, like the administration has talked about it, they're not being questioned about it. There's too fucking much going on.
there's always going to be. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. However, the UN has, I'm sorry, not the UN, the International Criminal Court has now stated that they know that every 4 years we have a presidential election, and they also know that Trump can't run again. They're hoping that he doesn't try to stay in. However, because of politics and the way things are and the way our Supreme Court is, the International Criminal Court, the ICC, has stated that they will wait for a more normal administration, which is 3 years from now, until they put out an arrest warrant for Trump. Not just for things that we know, but for this Venezuela. And then they caveated that with Hegseth and Marco Rubio are fair game. Yeah, I think I will send. I don't have that pulled up and available. I did send it to either you or Brant or Smitty today because I was just so excited that they actually that their words that Hegseth and Rubio are fair game, and
I am
this
all about Moon God.
yeah.
All about Moon God. Are you?
I mean,
look at that. Look at that right there. That's our new hats. Make the United Nations great again.
Yeah, Moon God. Okay.
Here, guys. What I need
Moon God.
And what we kind of need to die on this hill a little bit is that everything that's fucking happening in the world right now is gonna finish off the United Nations or make them fucking mean something.
Yeah, they have to. You have to stand for something.
Being feckless. Like the UN is just a fucking DNC right now. It's just like a bunch of people who like talk a little bit of flowering language sometimes, but like don't want to do anything to get anything done. And I mean, they've been better this last couple of years with Gaza, like they're actually like South Africa pushing. They're acting like I don't wear funny has to be part of the group. I'm sorry, Smitty. I didn't mean to push so hard. I'll get you a wrist joke. But yeah, they have been a joke. Wristband. I didn't mean to say wrist joke. But yeah, it's I just want them to be better.
Yeah. Well, you know that the United States is not a member state of the ICC. So, but that doesn't mean Venezuela is. And Venezuela is using the court system for these extrajudicial killings of one woman, a wife of a fisherman. She didn't know what happened. It had been 48 hours, then 72 hours, then a week. And then she started going, not started, she had been going, but then she really started putting it on blast, going to the news. Like, I don't know where my husband is. I'm seeing that bombs were taking out fishermen, and my husband's a fisherman, and I feel like he might have been, and he was. So we're getting more details, and Venezuela is using the courts, and if Hegseth and Rubio specifically is the architect of this specific going after Venezuela, so they are using it. The International Criminal Court has a lot more teeth, obviously, than something like the UN isn't a court per se. This is not a court. It's nations who are united, who like I said, that thing that I sent you today that was really awesome, of all the people speaking up at UN, they are not holding back. This is what we've been waiting for. for them to sound like,
What
and being full of rage about it.
what Mark
Finally,
and what Trump's done, what Hegseth has done, and what Stephen Miller has done, they've gotten around the law and around the system and corrupted it, taken advantage of it, and abused it and disregarded it so much that if you read your history books, any fucking era, when you have a tyrannical government, people get desperate and they do desperate things. We on this channel do not want to see those desperate and violent things happen. We do not condone such actions. We do, though, understand that those actions are a part of reality.
right?
And that they are probably going to happen, and they're probably going to happen soon. We strongly discourage anyone viewing our channel to do anything like that. We want you to do peaceful protesting, talk about it, talk about what those consequences bring sometimes.
Yes.
Right? So people that you talk to understand, like when we don't have a system we can go to for justice,
Right.
people take justice into their own hands. Like that woman who was looking for her husband, or one of the last Gazan children in their family who just explained how his grandparents and his parents died in front of him.
Yep.
They have every logical reason to just want blood.
I agree. And they don't.
And some do. Some do. And
Yeah.
we understand it. We get it.
Yeah. It's very human.
It doesn't fix it because it just makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. We don't want these vicious cycles. We want systems that work. And we don't want to learn the hard way again. Because that's
right.
That's when we fucking get it. Is when there's been enough blood spilled all over the fucking place. And then everyone simmers down and like, all right, well, I'm done losing enough of my family and friends. I would finally like to sit down and talk. It's like, cool, fuckers. We've been saying it since the beginning. So let's all take a deep breath. And let's learn the fucking goose from off. Let's not learn the hard way. Let's learn the hard way. Please.
Right.
Let's tell people what the hard way is so they understand that's what fucking happens. But we don't want it. Realize.
Yeah, when does the violence end? If you get back at them and then they get back at you and you get back at them and they get back, it will never end. Like that old saying, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
It will get worse before it gets better, because if things really start to pop off, you start to get in that tribalist way of thinking, and then you do things preemptively before they get you, and that's fucking dangerous for everyone. So stay humanist.
Definitely. Right before we go, though, I got an amazing homemade birthday card. Let's see if I can. There's my silver hair with its streaks, and this poem that I must read that I got. Burning with red hot fire, my heart begins to ache. I need not just a desire, a yummy slice of cake. Happy birthday from Smitty. And then let's see, there's the cake, and there's me with cake all over my face.
That's awesome. Hey,
That's the first part. I was like, where's he going? I love it. I love it so much.
I love it. You got to send me a picture of that when
I will.
That reminds me, we need to Smitty, I think we need to coordinate for Christy's 50th. We need to make her a birthday book.
Oh yeah.
All naked ladies all over it. I've heard that's really in right now.
Yeah. Right.
Anything else, Christy?
I no, I want to, you know how Trump has dismantled 4 wars. He's ended, I mean, sorry, 7. I'm sorry, 10. I'm sorry, 11. He's stopped all these. It's like, yeah, 47, I think. So, I mean, he's president 47. It's 47 wars,
7?
obviously. Obviously. It is a ridiculous thing that he is stating, you know, that he's got rid of all of these wars because he hasn't. And I just want to put this out there really, really quick because it's so important. The Armenia and Azerbaijan, what he called it, Azerbaijan and Albania, which they're so far apart. There's no war. I do have to say, the Armenia and Azerbaijan, I did a Trump, have been in a decades-long war, and Trump does deserve credit for bringing the leaders of these two countries to the White House in August to sign a peace deal. However, neither side has since ratified that peace deal, and Azerbaijan continues to insist that Armenia amend its constitution to remove references to the disputed region, which would almost certainly be rejected by Armenian voters. So Trump has maybe ended the war between these two nations, but then again, maybe he hasn't. Also, the president of peace has since confused Armenia with Albania and called Azerbaijan. And then we have Egypt and Ethiopia. He apparently got rid of that war all by himself too. Egypt and Ethiopia, yes, have a long-standing dispute over a dam on the River Nile. But no, the two countries were not at war. Again, no shots were fired, no bombs were dropped, no territory was seized. Oh, and their water dispute remains unresolved. So Trump didn't end that war, as yet again, there was no war to begin with. And then we have where's the next one? Israel and Iran. Israel and Iran were at war for 12 days in June. Trump may have pressured the two sides into a ceasefire, but he was also the person who, as one Israeli official put it to Axios, gave a clear U.S. green light for Israel to attack Iran in the first place. Trump not only blessed Israel's bombing of Iran, but he then bombed Iran himself. So how on earth does he get credit for ending a war that he helped start and then participated in? And then we have Pakistan and India, which he ended this war. Pakistan and India did have a 4-day conflict in May, which came to an end with a ceasefire. While Pakistan credited Trump for the ceasefire and then nominated him for Nobel Peace Prize the day before he illegally attacked Iran, India has repeatedly rejected Trump's claim that he ended the conflict as baseless. So Trump can't take credit for ending that war either. Congo and Rwanda. Rwanda. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Rwanda have been at war for decades. It's a brutal and vicious war. I say it's a genocide. It is. But their conflict still isn't over. In June, the two countries signed a peace agreement in the White House that Trump called a glorious triumph. But it did not include the Rwandan-backed M23 rebel group responsible for so much of the violence. According to United Nations, more than 300 civilians, including women and children, were killed in the DRC in July alone. So Trump did not end that war. And Cambodia and Thailand. Cambodia and Thailand were at war, and Trump did indeed help secure a ceasefire. But the two countries have accused each other of ceasefire violations ever since. So Trump didn't quite end that war or address the root causes. And then we have Kosovo and Serbia, which he says he has ended this war as well. Kosovo and Serbia were not at war. No shots were fired, no bombs dropped, no territory was seized. So Trump didn't end the war because there was no war to begin with. So I just wanted to like put that out there for everyone because that's bullshit.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Just all around the world. Just cooked.
All around the world, the same bullshit. Oh, and take a look. It's in a book, The Reading Rainbow.
I love that.
One of my favorite childhood shows ever. Yes. I love it so much.
Very nice.
And that's all.
I wonder what I'm rocking. Oh, I'm rocking Superman.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah, that's a beefy Superman.
Huh?
That's a beefy Superman.
Yes.
And then I said, I love you guys.
Yeah.
We're fact. We're fact, as the Irish say. We're totally fact.
Yeah. Well, you know, if we're cooked, let's just try to make a nice meal out of it. We'll see you in a week or so. Hopefully next week. Thanks for being here and stay human.
Yeah. For godless sakes.